Hey, what's up YouTube? Saf here on Super Saf TV, and look what we have here. It is the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus for an unboxing. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I actually got hold of this a few days ago, but I was in Barcelona and I didn't want to rush the unboxing in my hotel room. So I thought I'd bring it back here in the studio with all of the good lighting to give you guys a proper close look. Let's get straight to it. Now, the box itself is actually quite similar to what we had last year, plain black with the S9 Plus logo in a metallic blue. And if we bring in the S8 Plus case, you'll see that they look almost identical. And with the device as well, if you've seen some of my previous coverage, it is an incremental update in terms of the design, but we've got some cool new features which we'll be looking at too. Now, another thing to quickly mention is that this is the European version, which has a 64GB base. In the UK, the base model is actually 128GB, and I thought that this is going to be the case across the board, and at the time, that's all the information that I had. However, in the US as well, you are going to be getting a 64GB base. You're not losing out in any way because the 64GB version is actually cheaper compared to the 128GB version that we get here in the UK. Right, that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get this out of the sleeve. And again, a very stealthy look with the black box and the Samsung logo also in black. And we are initially presented with a box, which we'll come back to later. And here it is, the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. We're just going to put that to the side for a second and see what else we get inside as well. Just going to lay all this stuff out on the table so we can see. So there's the paperwork, there's a SIM card ejector tool. We've got a USB-A to USB Type-C cable, which you'll use to charge and sync the device. Like last year, we also have some AKG earphones. Now, these sound pretty decent, and they also have a braided cable. Braided cables are absolutely awesome and don't tangle up as much as regular cables, so that's absolutely great. You've got some spare earpieces for different sizes for the earphones. We've got the power brick, and this is the European power brick with the 2 pins. It will vary depending on where you are. And you can also see here that we have adaptive fast charging. So fast charging is available on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. We also have fast wireless charging, which is absolutely great. And finally, we also have a USB connector. This is USB Type-A to USB Type-C. This is going to make it easier for you to transfer your files from maybe an older device. And also, if you want to just plug in a USB stick into this, you can do that with this, which is absolutely awesome. Now, let's get to the device. It's brand new and fresh. It's still got the plastic on top. I was actually using another demo unit in my time at Barcelona. I wanted to give you guys the proper unboxing experience, so let's do this. That's the front off. And also the back. There's actually still plastic on the sides as well, so we'll get rid of that too. Now, this looks and feels very, very premium, very similar to what we had last year with the S8 Plus, which we actually have here. And I've said this before, but in terms of the physical design, it is an incremental update. But I've also said that the S8 Plus had one of the best designs last year, so this is something that I'm not hugely bothered about. Smartphone manufacturers these days do tend to keep a similar or same design for at least a couple of years now. So taking a look around, firstly at the front, we do have a beautiful 6.2-inch display. This is definitely one of the best in the business. Just today, DisplayMate have actually given this the highest grading on any smartphone display if you're into that. But from a personal experience, I can tell you that this display is absolutely great. Very, very bright, Super AMOLED technology with an 18.5:9 aspect ratio, Quad HD resolution, blacks are very deep and colors are very, very vibrant. I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed with this display, and it is an infinity display, so you've got minimal bezels, actually slightly smaller compared to last year, which once again is absolutely awesome. At the top, there is a front-facing camera which is 8 megapixels with an f1.7 aperture as well as autofocus. Now, this does support selfie focus, which is a portrait mode, and it's going to blur the background. This is something that I still need to spend some more time with. And there is also the iris scanner, which this time you can't actually see because it's plain black, so it's actually hidden much better than what we had last year. There's also facial recognition. This year we also have intelligent scan, which is going to use both facial recognition as well as the iris scanner in combination to give you more security. Now, the earpiece this time actually doubles up as a secondary speaker because this year we do have stereo speakers, which are 1.4 times louder compared to last year, tuned by AKG, and they also support Dolby Atmos. The second speaker is actually at the bottom in a similar place to what we had last year. Then we've got a mic as well as a USB Type-C input. And then something that I know a lot of you guys are pleased about, we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. This is something that we're seeing so less of these days, so I'm so glad that Samsung have decided to include this on the S9 and S9 Plus. Right hand side, there's a power button, nothing else. And on the left hand side, we have a volume rocker as well as a dedicated Bixby button. At the top, there's a secondary mic as well as the SIM card tray. Now this SIM card tray, you also have space for a micro SD card, and you can expand this by up to 400 gigabytes, which is absolutely insane. Some markets also have a dual SIM option. Now let's move on to the back where the real changes are. Now first things first, before I start getting comments saying, oh, this is fake because why are these FCC labels or whatever here at the bottom? Well, in the UK and Europe, we still have these, unfortunately. They have not got rid of these, so we still have these at the bottom. This is something that we can't do anything about. Samsung logo here in the middle, the fingerprint scanner, this time in a much more accessible position. This is something that I fed back a lot on last year. Having that right at the top did make it very difficult to reach to, especially on the larger devices. This time it's just below the cameras in the middle, which is absolutely great. We've got an LED flash as well as the heart rate sensor. Then we've got the dual cameras. So one of the cameras is telephoto like we had in the Note 8. This is going to give you optical zoom and it has an f2.4 aperture. It's also going to allow live focus, which is a portrait mode, and you are going to be able to adjust the blur after the fact. But then we have the primary camera, which is the same also on the S9 Plus. The S9 Plus only has the one camera. And this is what the talk is all about. This camera has something called dual aperture, which is the first that I've seen on any smartphone. And it's basically going to allow you to switch mechanically between f1.5 as well as f2.4. Why is that? Well, on f2.4, it's going to be great for most situations. It's going to have more things in focus and it's going to give you a more crisp shot in general. But if you are below 100 lux of light, then it's going to automatically switch to the f1.5 aperture, which is the widest on any smartphone right now, and that should give you some awesome low light shots. You can also switch between the apertures manually if you'd like in Pro mode. And the early results with this look very, very promising. Obviously, we'll be doing lots of super style camera comparisons of this with some other devices. So definitely let me know in the comments below which device you'd like me to compare this to first. Those will hopefully be coming next week. And in terms of video, we do have 4K at 60 frames a second. At 60 frames a second, you don't have stabilization, however, so we'll see how well this does. And we also have super slow-mo, 960 frames a second at 720p, which is insane. Now, I know we've seen this before, but what we haven't seen before is automatic motion detection. This is a square that you're gonna be able to place, and that's gonna look out for motion in that square. When it does notice motion in that square, it's going to start recording. It makes it so much easier, more practical to use super slow-mo. And it's something that I found myself using a lot more rather than with previous devices where it'd be almost impossible to capture the exact point where you'd get that slow motion. Now the build is still very premium with the metal frame and the curved glass panels on the front and back, which in my opinion look very, very good. And the version we have here is the Midnight Black. We do have 3 other color versions available. I'm definitely digging the coral blue as well as the lilac purple. You guys know that I'm usually an all black everything type of a guy, but that lilac purple does look really dope, and I'm gonna try to get this one swapped for that lilac purple when it's out. We've still got IP68 water and dust resistance, which is great, but one of the things with this build, because of the glass, is that if you do drop it on concrete or something, then you are likely to break that glass. That's just the way glass works. And I would definitely recommend picking up a case from our video sponsor Tech21 if you're thinking of buying this. So Tech21 have just launched their new series of cases for the Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, which guarantee the most effective protection drop after drop. This is thanks to their impact-absorbing material Flex Shock, which protects from drops of up to 3 meters, and the fact that Tech21 drop test their cases 20 times to ensure durable, long-lasting protection. If you want to pick up a Tech21 case, then they're available in O2 in store, and I'll also be leaving a link in the description below. So that is the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus unboxing. A very promising device. What do you guys think of it? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. In terms of the other features, we do have the latest and greatest processors in here, either the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 or the Exynos 9810. I do have the Exynos in here, and we'll be doing lots of super SAF style speed tests. If there's any other types of videos that you want me to do, definitely drop those in the comments below too. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch your notifications. There's lots more S9 and S9 Plus content coming up in here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah.